big. To climb into it.
The video's rolling.
Oh, hello. Where's the camera?
I don't know, right there, yeah.
Otherwise I look cross-eyed. There it is. I don't know where to look. Otherwise I'll be talking to the camera like this. Hey guys, how you doing?
We got Mike Taylor in the house right here.
So is this it? Just 2 cars?
Is this it? What's up, Mike Taylor?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
All right.
Yeah, so welcome to Moab. Oh, we're double vlogging here.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, are you on too? Oh, we are double vlogging. Do we get the mirror effect where it's like gonna do this? Take us through a portal?
It's currently trying to detect both of your faces. One's in the phone and one's in the mirror.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear. Are we leading the way then, Thomas?
Yeah, let's do it. I roughly know the way. Google it.
Right, let's look into some trouble.
My car against your car, I've kind of got penis envy. I feel small and insignificant. Which is normal for him, so. So where are we going?
Say hi to the cameras. So let's get gas. I got to gas up.
Yeah.
And then I think we're going that way.
Yeah.
You have directions from corner campground?
Yeah, I've got it in the Google.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Salted metal. Isn't this organic?
What even is this?
Have you not had those?
Oh. It looks like
man.
nougat wrapped in nuts.
It is, pretty
Oh.
much. It's good.
Oh.
Well, it's like a, what is it, Mark? Oh,
Reverse cricket. Oh, I'll eat crickets.
you'll eat crickets? Really? Have you had crickets before?
Yeah, but it's protein, you know.
Yeah.
That's what we'll be eating in 100 years' time, so.
Look at this stuff.
Next pull out.
All right.
Let's get away. Bit of an instructor's adventure. So I am in the car with
Hey, it's Ryan Smith, Icon Photo.
Ryan Smith from Icon Photo and
And David Akoubian, Bearless Photography.
yes, David Akoubian, Tamron, right?
Yes.
Oh, should I not say that?
No, that's fine.
Oh, yeah. Cool. So yeah, and there's a car behind us. So the idea is, instead of going into the desert and shooting the arches and everything like that and dealing with the crowds, we decided to get in this beast of a 4x4 vehicle. We're going to drive up to the South Mountains where there's been some heavy snowfall. But at the top of the mountain, where the snow line is, all of the aspens are turning, so we're kind of in peak autumn colour at the minute. All of those beautiful yellow aspens combined with a bit of snowfall and what looks like some mist. We don't know, we haven't been. It's a bit of a gamble, but yeah, it could be awesome. So yeah, we'll see when we get there. Apparently I'm navigating. The man from Whitley Bay is navigating the mountains of Utah. How has this happened? Over here. Shouldn't film me with a phone driving.
No, do it. That's great.
Now and see if we can get some.
Hi guys, how are you? Here in the car, I'm a little starstruck here. David Akoubian, I think I introduced him as well as Mr. Thomas Heaton from the UK. From the UK?
Yeah, the UK.
Where are you from?
The UK.
Well, I know, but what part of the UK?
I'm from the northeast.
Okay.
So the Northumberland coastline, almost, where they filmed Harry Potter. Lots of castles and beaches.
Ah, I gotcha. Are you a big Harry Potter fan?
No.
No, neither am I. I don't like it. What don't you like about it?
I just can't get into the whole fantasy thing. Game of Thrones, never seen it. Harry Potter, never really seen it. What are the other ones? The Lord of the Rings.
Isn't that against the law over there to not have seen it?
Yeah,
Aren't you
probably.
like shunned or
Probably, yeah, I'm going to get abused all the time for it.
Well, you know, I told Thomas that, you know, as we were out shooting, I would love to introduce him to some of the people that I'm acquainted with through photography. They always love these chats, and I call it icons.
Icons, yeah.
Icons. So icons are not only the places that we go, but also the people that we love to go shoot with. And I've been a big fan of yours for quite some time, just
Thank
as
you.
I'm a little starstruck myself. And
You won't be after this journey.
No. Yeah, where are we going?
You just realise that we're all the same.
So it's kind of funny. So Thomas here is taking us out exploring the back roads of Utah, which is kind of funny for me since I'm from Utah. But I've actually never been where we're going, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, I was driving here from Grand Junction, and just everywhere around me was yellow aspen trees. So I thought, okay, I need to shoot these yellow aspen trees. So I went onto Google and typed in Moab aspen trees.
Okay.
And everything pointed towards this mountain road. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go and have a look. But before I went to have a look, I chatted to some random photographer out in the middle of nowhere, and he said, yeah, you need to do this mountain loop road. That's where the aspens are. So I took a drive up there the other day. Phenomenal. I didn't have any time. I didn't even have a camera. I just had a quick look. But since then, it hasn't stopped snowing in the mountains. So now we're going to go. Hopefully, we're going to get aspen trees at peak fall colour.
Oh,
sorry. Peak autumnal colour.
Terminal.
Autumnal.
Oh, autonomous.
Now even I can't say it. Peak autumnal colour and snow. So snow and autumn.
Oh, that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'll sign up for that. That's good.
But I'd like to sort of a disclaimer that I have no idea if we're actually going to get anything.
So if my photos suck today, it's
My
not
fault.
your fault?
Oh,
or it is your fault?
No, it's our fault. We're in this together.
Who goes to Moab to shoot fall colors? We do. We're excited. So we've been down here at the Out of Moab conference, which has brought 150 participant workshoppers from across the country and beyond, with 14 instructors from across the country, and it's been a great workshop.
It's been fun. Yeah.
What's been your favorite part?
Going to Green River Canyon Overlook.
Really?
When it looked like there was going to be no light, and then all of a sudden the light exploded. Everyone just nailed their shot, like everyone nailed it. And then 5 minutes later it was gone, and we got up and left. Perfect.
Wow.
In and out.
In and out. It's always nice. You ever come up to a scene and you just sit there and you just have got the shot, but you just keep shooting for whatever reason?
I used to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, because you feel like you have to and that you should. And no, I do shoot the same scene over and over again because the light's constantly changing from blue hour through sunrise and then 5, 10, 15 minutes afterwards. But yeah, then sometimes you just have to know when you've got it and
When to say no.
Yeah, because what happens is you continue shooting and then you try something else because you're there and you end up with images that might not be that good, and then you've got more to deal with back on the computer at home. You might also feel quite bad about yourself because you've got all these images that aren't great and you think, oh, I'm a rubbish photographer because these images are no good. Whereas if you just go with the discipline and intention of just getting those 1 or 2 shots at the perfect moment and then leave, go and have breakfast, go home, and you've got these great images.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's just all about being deliberate and not overshooting, not spraying and praying.
Well, we waste so much time going through, scrolling through photos, looking for the ones that we caught magic. Well, and I highly doubt that anybody has not heard about you, but in the event that somebody has not heard about you, tell us about yourself, your journey, so to speak.
Gosh. Well, I'm a landscape photographer based in the UK, as we've established, and I started a YouTube channel about 3 or 4 years ago because I couldn't really find anything that I was looking for. There were a couple of channels that I really enjoyed and still do to this day, but not many. So I thought, well, I can't find what I'm looking for, so I'm going to go out and I'm going to make it myself. So that's what first prompted me to make a YouTube video, and it went down really well and people enjoyed it, and it was just me going out and shooting a landscape, a typical day in the mountains, hiking, photography, home. And it went down really well, so I made another and another and another, and they've evolved. I've got more gear, put more thought into the videos, I've travelled more now, so the channel has evolved.
In half a mile, turn left onto Old Airport Road.
Sorry. Sorry, did you get that? Half a mile.
Half a mile. So even
Half a
your
mile.
phone has accent.
Yeah, pretty sure.
That's amazing.
So yeah, I have a YouTube channel that documents my landscape photography adventures, and this is one of them. Right?
Oh, okay.
Right now, this will be on my YouTube channel probably next
Take the next left onto Old End Road.
next Wednesday. Yeah, left here.
Gonna work this through and post it next Wednesday.
Yeah, because I've got nothing else.
Wow.
So we have to get something good from today.
Okay, very good. So this YouTube channel, tell me how you decide what to talk about, and
It's very much in the moment.
Okay.
Because you know yourself, landscape photography, sometimes good stuff happens, sometimes bad stuff happens, sometimes something surprises you, and
Sure.
sometimes little things like your tripod sinking into the mud can be a problem, but that is an entire topic to talk about on location. So yeah, I talk about the process behind the images I'm taking, why I'm taking them, what I'm doing,
In a
and
quarter of a mile, turn right onto LaSalle Mountain Loop.
yeah, and how anybody can do it, pretty much.
So what do you feel that...
Sorry, I'm going to touch your phone now. We were
Yeah.
blown out.
Blown out. It softens the skin.
That's
it takes
true,
our
yeah.
wrinkles away.
Blemishes have gone. It's nice.
You ever have that moment where you're focused on kind of doing a video, but then it just becomes a hindrance?
Yeah, I try
What do you
not to
do
let
in
that
that
happen.
moment?
Well, I put the video camera away because it's always about the image. You can have the best B-roll in the world, but if you don't get that image, then there's no video. Now that's not to say if you don't get the image because the light doesn't happen, then that actually makes really good content. But if
Okay.
you don't get the image because you're too busy filming and you miss the light, then that's it's just pointless. There's no
Yeah.
video. So no, it's always about the image. So I manage that by making sure I give myself lots of time to be in the location and be comfortable and have a good idea of what I'm going to shoot. And also, I have to know what I'm going to photograph is going to work, because for me to take a photograph requires at least half an hour's, maybe half an hour's worth of filming. So if I see a composition and think, right, I'm going to shoot this, I have to get the camera out, talk to the camera about what I'm doing, get the drone out, bit of B-roll, get the slider set, everything set. That takes time.
You're a full production
Yeah,
company.
I am. I'm a one-man band, so I have to know that photograph at least has a chance of working. Whereas if I just walked around like taking a photograph of everything I saw, it'd be a nightmare. So
Right.
I'd end up filming too much. So making YouTube videos actually focuses your photography, because it's like shooting film. When you shoot film, you don't shoot everything you see. You're very deliberate, and you only shoot what you think will work. It's the same with YouTube.
Yeah, I've made the mistake of doing live videos. You want to share with people out there of the moment, and obviously the best moment.
Yeah.
But then you're trying to get the shot too. So it's yeah, I could totally see the dilemma.
Yeah. It's
So
hard.
YouTube, would you say as a photographer, videographer, YouTuber, is your focus now YouTube, or are you doing more on the workshop front? Tell me how you balance that as a photographer.
Yeah, it's a fine line. The way I balance it is by making videos on my workshops. No, it's without YouTube I wouldn't be able to do all the stuff I do. So YouTube is integral in my whole career, if you like.
Okay.
But then without the photography there would be no YouTube channel. So the landscape photography always comes first, and then YouTube will come very, very, very closely behind that.
Gotcha.
So first of all, I'll plan a trip knowing I'll get awesome images, and then I'll also plan that trip and go, yeah, that'll make great content as well. So the two go hand in hand together. Workshops we go straight on. Yeah, I think. Yeah, straight on. Turn right in 13 miles.
Okay.
So yeah.
So financially, YouTube is kind of the higher source of your income? Or
YouTube's pitiful.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you don't
Okay.
make advertising revenue is just really bad.
Okay.
Unless you're like Casey Neistat and getting
Gotcha.
millions of views every day. So no, I have this audience, right?
Okay.
So imagine YouTube markets my landscape photography.
Okay.
So YouTube in a way sells my photography. So instead of having a gallery or a website or a book, I have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
Right? It's the same thing. And then people want to go on a workshop because they know me, they know my work, they know the places I go to, they know how I shoot. So that's one revenue stream, is workshops. Because I have an audience, I get booked for conferences like this one we've done, so that's good. Because I have an audience, I get sponsorship, so that's another revenue stream. Now, none of these alone are enough to live on, but you put all of them together, and that's your income.
Ah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What
colours are turning?
So we're just coming across the LaSalle's up here, and we're just like squirrels. So apologize if we're checking things out. That's just us, right?
It's the nature of photographers, constantly distracted.
Oh, it's funny. Gavin and I were in the car last 2 days ago, and the same thing. We're like, oh yeah, we're recording, but it's phenomenal. And if you see something that we should stop me, and we'll pull over that you want to shoot. But so a lot of people look up to you. A lot of he's kind of Mr. Popular here at the conference, not kind of, but his groups of 10, the people have signed up for, eventually become 16, 17. So you inspire others. Who has inspired you, and who inspires you now?
Well, not growing up, but when I first started to really channel in on landscape photography, so you're still kind of discovering it and kind of having that light bulb moment where I realised landscape photography is the answer to everything, because it allows you to travel, it gets you outdoors and everything, and you have this purpose now because you have a camera. So one of the biggest photographers I looked up to was a British photographer called David Noton, and he's still practicing now. He does a lot with Canon and Adobe, and he had a book called Full Frame, and actually his first book was Chasing the Light, or Waiting for the Light, and then a second book, Full Frame, and oh my god, it was just everything that I wanted to do: travel, landscapes, stories behind the images. So he was certainly who I looked up to, and as well Brian Peterson. Do you know Brian Peterson?
By name?
Yeah, he's old school. He was great. So these are the guys I learned from. But nowadays, like the likes of Ben Horn, who shoots large format film, his approach to landscape photography is just so methodical, so nice to watch. He could have a burning sunrise behind him, but he's already got his subject, so he just enjoys it but doesn't get distracted by it. Persevere and continue with it. So very methodical. I spend 3 days waiting for one image, that kind of stuff. Those are the people I look up to.
That's impressive. Where is your favorite place to photograph? The place you don't get burned out of, that you could never have enough?
The Lake District in the UK. It's like it's my back garden. It's really close to home. I know it really well. It changes from season to season dramatically, so you never get bored because it's always something new. It's big and small at the same time, so you can drive anywhere in the national park within an hour, but it's also so vast, so many valleys and mountains. There's just so much to explore. So yeah, Lake District in the UK.
And are you a wide landscape, visionary, or do you like the intimate scenes, or
everything.
What's your everything?
Anything that catches my attention. So whether that's a pine cone stuck in some mud at the back end of a wash somewhere, or whether it's panoramic of the mountains with the misty cloud, it's anything that gets me. So I don't really zone in on one particular thing, which is a bit of a pain. It means I have to carry all my lenses. It gets heavy.
It's funny you bring that up. The number one question: which lenses should I bring? And at this conference, I tell everyone, every lens you have, because it's amazing. You go to Dead Horse Point ready to photograph, the wide scene, but the phenomenal shots truly on this trip have been the telephoto at Dead Horse Point with the single tree. It's just beautiful. How do you, as a photographer, decide what your style is? For you, have you just discovered it, or was it like, I want to be this, or? No,
I don't have a style. I think that's my weakness. I don't think you can look at pictures of mine and say, oh yeah, that's definitely one of his. There's a photographer, for example, called Bruce Percy, who shoots minimalist, negative space, black and white, and every single one of the images is beautiful, and it's just there's almost nothing in the image. It might be a single mark in the sand, or a single tree in the snow, or something like that. And so you can look at an image of his and you know it's his straight away. you know, he could have a collection of 50 images and they would all fit with each other. And
Okay.
I don't have that. I shoot big, I shoot small, I shoot sunrise, middle of the day, sunset, I shoot black and white, long exposure, you know, whatever takes me in that moment. Maybe, like now I get bored of shooting some stuff, so maybe over the years it will end up sort of narrowing down to a style, but no, I don't want to pigeonhole myself, because I don't ever want to be in a position where I'd love to shoot something but can't because it doesn't fit with my style. That's not a place I want to be in.
Well, I agree with you. You talk about boredom. Do you become bored with photography?
No, I get bored with sometimes cameras because it feels like it doesn't feel as satisfying because I feel like the camera's doing all the work. Sometimes it can feel too easy, which is why I like to shoot large format film occasionally, because that really, you know, grounds you, brings you back down to reality. You have to actually learn how light works and metering and exposure and how the film interacts with the lens and the light. So that's what I like to do.
It would scare me to be shooting large format, not have your digital camera just in case.
No,
have you had that?
You have to let go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to think, okay, so if it all goes wrong, there'll be more opportunities. Because if not, it's just every day is living hell. When you're driving to work and then there's this amazing sunset and you can't shoot it because you're on the motorway or something, or the freeway, then you can't live like that. You just have to let it go and enjoy it. I always say that when I go on a photo shoot, that photography is never the priority. And you'd be surprised at that mindset and how that actually helps, because you suddenly have this release of pressure.
I love that. You know, what is your priority when you go shooting? Is it fun? Is it connection?
Yeah,
is it getting away?
It's connection, it's discovering new things, seeing new things, experiencing. Not many people get to experience what we experience, you know. Not many people get to see half the sunrises we see. No, so that should be your motivation to be out there. And then the second should be somehow trying to capture and, you know, relay that to your audience. So if I go out and don't get a shot, like, unless I've invested a lot of time and money and effort into getting a specific shot. But you know, if I go for a 3-hour hike, I'm happy to be hiking.
Yeah.
If I don't get a shot, don't get one.
I love that. You mentioned that in your presentation this week, and I think that hit home to a lot of people, including me, is don't just go out and shoot and be distracted and shoot and for the sake of shooting, but just be patient and wait. Do you mind sharing a little bit of, you know, what you shared to the group on that?
Yeah, so I shot this beautiful lake in the mountains in France, and we arrived 2 hours early, right, which you should always do. And it wasn't great. It was windy, so there was ripples in the lake, there was no reflection, the light was harsh, it just wasn't a very nice scene. And what I would do is I would just sit down, enjoy it, and wait and see what happens. But a couple of the guys who I was with running around just trying to photograph it, but everything they photographed didn't look great, because at the time it looked amazing to your eyes. You know, this place is amazing, but on camera it didn't look very good. Although it was a beautiful view, it didn't make a very good photograph. And these guys are really struggling and they're feeling bad about themselves. So they kept asking me, they kept saying, Tom, what would you do in this situation? How would you take this photograph? And I just said, well, I wouldn't. Just put your camera away and just sit down and have some food and just wait. Because right now you're trying to force an image and it's just not working, and then you feel bad about yourself because you think it's you that's not working. It's not. It's just the light's no good. It's not ready yet. Just wait, and you'll know when it's time, because everything will come together. And lo and behold, it did. The water calmed, the wind dropped, the water settled, the light hit the mountain. Oh, it was so good. And then all of a sudden, it's like, right, it's time. And then we got our cameras and we just relaxed and take photographs. And no pressure. And it was really good. And people knew what to photograph. No one was asking any questions when the light was good. So,
it speaks for itself. So
yeah.
What's next for Thomas Heaton?
I have to sell, pack and ship the rest of my 2019 calendars. So a little plug, if anyone wants to buy a calendar, I've got a few left.
What's the site?
It's just thomasheaton.co.uk, and then you'll see a link on there. But yeah, I'll go to Iceland in November, which I'm looking forward to. I'm trying to get my hands on a Fujifilm GFX 50R for the trip, because I really want to try that camera, but I don't know if Fuji are actually going to lend me one. We'll see. And then I have like 3 months off, so I'm just going to shoot in my back garden and relax, take out the camper van, enjoy some more leisurely photography where there's no real deadlines, no real, just do whatever I want.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
What is in the camera bag, by the way?
5D Mark IV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good guy. Me too. What do you like about it?
Oh, it's a tank. It's built like a tank. I've dropped that camera more times than I'll care to remember. It's been absolutely soaked, full on rainstorms, full on battered by the rain, snowed on. Then the snow melts, it's been frozen, it's been baked, and it just works. I have zero fear with that camera. It's never going to fail. And that's what I like about it.
Well, and it's interesting talking about gear. Everybody, the latest gear comes out, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's the greatest thing, or it's not the greatest thing. How do you make decisions regarding gear for you?
I'm cynical. I don't. Everything's marketing. Everything is marketing. Like every time a new camera is released, they have to convince you that what was the best camera 9 months ago is no longer the best camera, and this is the best camera.
Yeah.
That you shouldn't. All these marketeers trying to sell you all this gear. You know what? If an image was good 3 years ago, it's good today. Simple as that. So, like the Canon EOS R is a perfect example. It looks nice, but so many people are disappointed by that camera, yet Canon is still trying to sell it as this awesome new camera. Everyone's kind of calling that bluff. Now, I'm not saying anything either way. I haven't actually held one in my hands. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But the same with the Nikon Z6 and Z7. People are not happy with the camera, yet Nikon.
He did say Nikon.
Nikon, yeah. It's Japanese, so it's Nikon.
It is, right? Yeah. That's
So
right.
Nikon, look at their marketing. Best camera. People are sort of a bit savvy to it. So you have to bear in mind that all these camera companies, they just want your money. It just boils down to what's right for you, and don't be sucked into new tech that you don't necessarily need. Like I say, if I take a picture with a Canon 5D Mark IV, which is like 2.5 years old, and then take the same picture with a brand new Sony or a brand new Nikon or a brand new Canon, no one is going to see the difference unless you print in like full size, like 40 by 50 or something. Then the higher res sensors will probably yield a slightly better image. But for the vast majority of online stuff and 8 by 10 prints or even like A2 prints, 2016s, people aren't going to notice a difference.
If there was a camera, or if there's something that you don't have currently in your gear that could do something specific, what do you feel is missing? What would you like to see if you could invent anything in the world for a camera to do?
I would
zoom in 1,000 millimeters. Zoom in,
I want a self-leveling tripod.
Ooh.
So you just put it down and it goes perfectly level, and then there we go. And then instead of faffing around trying to clip the camera onto the tripod, I just want like a magnetic.
A magnetic. Oh, that would be cool.
Super safe.
I'm ready. That's a good idea. You talked a little bit about printing. Do you print much?
I do. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm a Pro 1000 printer, Canon.
Oh, you print yourself.
Yeah.
And
It's
what do you
very
print
satisfying.
for? Do you sell your work?
I do. I sell prints.
Okay.
A small number of prints. But I also, I just like to print my work because it's the final thing, I don't print everything, but if I get an image I'm particularly happy with, then there's nothing better than, I'll go out in the morning, shoot, come back, have some breakfast, edit the image, have some lunch, print the image. That is a good day.
Oh, wow.
That is a good day.
Start to finish in one day.
Yeah. Yeah, just for fun, just to see the process.
And quick edit flow or lengthy edit flow? What do you use?
I'm not a big editor. I
No?
just Lightroom, a few tweaks. I often find the best light needs no editing, really. Just contrast levels, maybe a touch of clarity here and there, white balance. I don't go to town on it. I generally spend. It's not often I spend more than 15 minutes on an image, but I will do it twice. So I'll edit the image, go away, maybe an hour or a day or whatever, come back and then do it again. Sometimes a third time, but that's because I usually overdo it the first time, come back and go, oh no.
It's amazing what the eyes do fresh.
Yeah.
Can't remember who was talking about today that maybe it was you. I don't think it was.
No,
but
Nick talks about that a lot. Nick Page, he having time away from an edit is a very, very, very good thing. So yeah.
Even original files, I find waiting a month, somebody was talking about, and then you're excited to get back to the computer and
yeah, but I can't do that with a YouTube channel.
yeah, that's
Content
true.
is like all this stuff we're shooting today has got to go out
By
next week.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. So
Wow.
look at the colours.
So last question.
Yeah.
Outside of photography, what? Gosh, it's gorgeous. Any other hobbies that?
Rock climbing, big climber, big fan of the climbing. Enjoy a bit of mountain biking, generally hiking, being outside. But yeah, it's all outdoorsy stuff.
Well, really appreciate the time. Thank you, my friend. Let's go shoot some
Yes.
fall colors snow in Red Rock Country.
Really looking forward to this.
So tell us where we find you.
Just Google Thomas Heaton. No, because a footballer might come up. Google Thomas Heaton Photography. There we go.
Thomas Heaton Photography, Instagram, Thomas Heaton.
No, see, I'm really bad. If you take one thing away from this video, guys, if you want to get into social media and everything, have the same name for every account. I don't. I've got one name for Twitter, one name for Instagram, one name for YouTube. And that's because everything was taken.
Is Thomas Heaton kind of like a Ryan Smith generic name, or no? There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a few. It's not that uncommon. So yeah, Thomas Heaton. But if you just Google it, you'll see my website, and you can get to everything from there.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Thomas. Icons, thanks for joining. And believe it or not, this is kind of, I've done this before, but maybe you've opened my eyes to the power of YouTube. Maybe this needs to be a first official Icon YouTube video. So, history in the making. It's a good way to start things off. I don't even know where I would go next after Thomas Heaton in the car. And David Akoubian, of course. And we'll catch you later. Bye, guys.
Bye.